Hey guys, I'm Forrester here with another coffee review. Today I'm going to be reviewing this blend right here. This is Peet's coffee and it's Major Dickason's blend. Now this is a coffee that I walk by the store in Kroger where I shop pretty much once a week, and I've never purchased any Peet's coffee. So one advantage of doing these coffee reviews is that I get out and try different blends that I haven't tried in the past. And I think you're going to find that this is one of my absolute favorite coffees that I've reviewed so far by the end of the review. Now it's still steeping. It has about 30 seconds left to go. So we'll let it steep just a little bit longer. I'm using this Bodum French coffee press to make this cup of coffee. Now I've been trying this and drinking this Peet's Major Dickason blend for probably a month now. And the problem I've been running into is I like it so much is that I've been drinking it all week long, and then when it comes time to do the review on Saturday, I'm out of coffee, so I can't do it. So I'll go back and buy some more coffee. Same thing happens. I think this is my third bag of Major Dickason's blend that I've tried. So I'm forcing myself to go ahead and do it, do the video now. Let me stop my stopwatch and press the coffee. I'm enjoying this French press. I'm going to turn that around. I always forget to turn it to the pour spout. I'm looking forward to getting a burr grinder, burr grinder instead of the blade grinder that I'm using now. I think it'll make better coffee when I do that. Alright, let me pour the first cup. Now I admit I've already had a pot of this morning. And as always, I'm using my Krispy Kreme donut coffee cup that came to me in a gift about a month ago, I guess. I'll put that to where you can see it. Now I have some notes that I want to go over and tell you a little bit about this coffee. And I'm going to go ahead and jump to the bottom line for those of you that are in a rush, but let me taste it first. I tell you, that is really good, and this is my favorite coffee that I've reviewed so far. And you know, there's subtle differences from one coffee to the other. I like a bold coffee. This is definitely bold. Now Peet's describes it as rich, complex, and full-bodied, and I would agree 100% with their description of the coffee. But this is the best coffee that I've tried so far. And I'm going to go ahead and say I'll give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Now, if you've been following my channel, you've been underwhelmed with my reviews, I think, because I've been giving 3, 3.5, maybe 4. I think I might have given the Death Wish coffee that I reviewed a 4.5 star. This is getting a full 5-star review. Now, does that mean that you'll like it just because I like it? No, I don't think so. I mean, you might like it, and probably most of you will. A lot of you probably have already tried it. But some of you might like a medium strength coffee, so this may not appeal to you, but to my taste, this is the best coffee that I've tried so far. And like I say, I walk to buy it at the store when I do grocery shopping maybe every week. Never tried it, but because of these coffee reviews, I'm trying this coffee for the very first time. I want to tell you a little bit about the history of the coffee. Maybe that's one thing that I can bring to these coffee reviews. It's called Major Dickason's blend, and this was named after a loyal customer of the original store in Berkeley, California. And he was a retired Army officer. His name was Dickason, and he suggested the idea of this particular blend to the owner in 1969, so it goes back a good while. This blend right here is the all-time best seller for Peet's coffee. So it's their #1 coffee. And when they tested it, developed the blend, and originally came to market with it, they were so impressed with it that Mr. Peet actually gave Dickason a raise, a promotion I mean, from sergeant to major. So that's how much he liked it so much. He named it for Mr. Dickason and also gave him a promotion. Like I say, I'm going to give this a 5-star rating. Let me go ahead and take another sip. The one thing that I like about this in particular is it does have more of a complex taste. There's a fairly strong taste of chocolate to this, and I think that's what makes me like it so much. So you have the coffee flavor, but also there's a rich chocolate flavor to it. I think it's pretty much that simple. I like chocolate, and I don't think that's been infused in this. I think it's just a natural part of the roasting process. Now, I got this through my local store. I shop at Kroger, but it's available online also, and I have been going online to look for larger sizes that I can buy more economically. But I'll put a link to Amazon.com, link to this Peet's coffee in the description box below. I did want to talk a little bit about the Amazon Associates program because it's really surprised me how much of a difference that makes. As y'all know, the Google AdSense revenue has been plummeting. It came back a little bit over Christmas, but now it's plummeting down again. The Amazon Associates program has made the difference, and I would say Google AdSense revenue is still a good bit more, but the revenue from the Amazon Associate program is climbing, and it's making a big difference. So one thing that has occurred to me is that some of you are faithful enough viewers of this channel that you're going to my Amazon, going to a YouTube video, clicking on a link to Amazon and ordering things just so that I'll benefit with a commission for that sale. And I really appreciate it. I've gone and looked to see how I might tell who's buying what, and I can't tell that. Maybe you can. Let me know if you know how to do that. But for instance, somebody just in the past few days made a major purchase on Amazon that brought in a good bit of revenue in the form of a commission. It was like $40 commission. So that's going to help make up the difference in my declining AdSense revenue in a big way. I don't know how to thank you other than just thanking all of you together for going to the trouble to do that. I appreciate it, and it is making a difference. I wanted to talk about a video I tried to make yesterday, and I wasn't successful in doing it, but a while back I put up a challenge that I was time had run out for this clock right here, or it was time for target practice. And this is my Folex that I've shown in a couple of videos. One was a Chinese watch scam video, but I tried to shoot that yesterday, or tried to set it up, and obviously I didn't do a dry run. So what actually happened, what I had planned to do was leave it on the bracelet, hang it on my action target that has a 12-inch round plate, steel plate, and hang it on that and then shoot it. And I was set up ready to do it, but what happened is, and I didn't take into account, the action target is slanted like this so that the bullets ricochet down into the ground. So when I hung it over, it hung out away from the target. That's not really what I wanted to do. So I tried a number of things, including tying string to the top and bottom and wrapping it around the plate. I tried all kinds of things. It really looked amateurish, and so I decided I need to rethink this. The only thought I've had is to take the bracelet off and actually Loctite it to the, or super glue it to the action target plate so that just this is flat up against the plate. I was trying to take safety into precaution because I didn't want to catch. I usually don't worry about shooting at the action target because it is angled down, but since this is an uneven surface, I was a little concerned about bullets ricocheting back and me being hit by one. So if you've got any ideas how I can pull that off, let me know. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is a knife that I sold. I sold my favorite knife out of my collection. Now I just did a knife review of the top 10 knives in my collection, and this knife was missing for the very first time. It's that list is of knives that serve multiple purposes. So you'll notice the top knives are larger knives that would be useful for multiple purposes. This knife was a gentleman folder, but if I had made a list of the knives that I treasured the most, not necessarily for their function, but for their form, for their quality, for their beauty, that type thing, this knife would have undoubtedly been number one every year. But I did sell it. It was my Menundi. I'll go ahead and say that. You know, I sold it for some particular reasons, and I want to go into those reasons in a separate video. But I just wanted to let you know that I did sell my number one knife. Until I make that video, why don't you think about what's your number one knife, not for function, how it operates, but for form, maybe a sentimental favorite. And would you sell it? What would it take you to sell it? I'll go into more detail on that on a different subject. I'm going to enjoy this pot of coffee while I read the paper. I haven't read the paper yet. And I'll get back to you later with a follow-up video on why I sold my Menundi. Y'all take care.